Welcome to today's deep dive. We are really thrilled to have you with us as we look at this detailed product page from HDTVSupply for something called the Zenty ZT-382 Video Wall Controller. Our mission today? Well, we are exploring the hidden technology that makes those massive, perfectly synchronized multi-screen displays you see in sports bars or corporate lobbies actually possible. And more importantly, we are discovering how surprisingly accessible this hardware has become for you. Okay, let's unpack this. This $700 device is basically the brain of a video wall. It takes a single 4K, 30 Hz video feed and perfectly distributes it across 9 separate screens. Boom, instant 3x3 video wall. But it is not just a giant splitter, right?
Right. It is doing a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes.
Okay.
Think about the sheer panic of walking into a conference room with your modern laptop and realizing the display system only takes an old VGA cable. I mean, we have all been there, frantically hunting for adapters. This hardware accepts 4 entirely different inputs natively. So you get USB-C, standard HDMI, DisplayPort, and yes, even legacy VGA.
So you can basically just plug pretty much anything in.
Exactly. You can integrate brand new hardware or older legacy devices without creating this messy web of dongles.
That alone is a lifesaver. So let us say I'm building this video wall from scratch. I have my inputs sorted, but when I mount regular TVs together, they usually have that thick plastic border, the bezel at the bottom, which totally ruins the illusion of one giant seamless image when they meet in the middle.
Yeah, they do. And what's fascinating here is how the controller solves that exact real-world AV headache. It has a 180-degree image rotation feature. You can physically mount the top row of your TVs upside down.
Wait, if I physically flip the top TVs upside down, won't the video just be...
Upside down too. Normally, yes, but the controller digitally flips the image 180 degrees before it ever hits the screen. So the picture looks perfectly normal, but those thick bottom bezels are now pushed to the outside edges of your video wall, keeping the middle of your image as seamless as possible.
Oh, that is incredibly clever. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's say I build this 3x3 wall, but later I decide I want to go bigger. Say, I am outfitting a massive space. Am I forced to throw this unit out and buy a completely different, crazy expensive system?
Not at all. There is a cascading feature built right in. You can literally link multiple units together to scale way past that initial 9-screen setup. You can go up to a 3x4 layout, a 4x5, and eventually build a monstrous 10x10 video wall.
10 by 10. Wow, that is 100 screens.
100 synchronized screens, all operating flawlessly from a single source. But you need to manage the data. That is where things like EDID management and SPDIF extraction come in on the spec sheet.
Right, can we translate those terms?
Absolutely. EDID management acts like a universal translator. It automatically fixes the resolution mismatches between whatever you plug in and your displays, making sure everything defaults to a perfect 4K or 1080p, and SPDIF extraction. That is just a fancy way of saying it splits out the high-quality digital audio from your video feed so you can easily plug it straight into a separate speaker system.
So what does this all mean? Connect this back to you, the listener. Really, it means deploying a massive digital canvas is now shockingly easy. The whole unit fits perfectly into a standard 1U rack space, which is just a single slot on a standard AV equipment shelf, and it draws a maximum of 33 watts of power.
Which is less than a lot of light bulbs.
Exactly. Plus, you aren't boxed into one way of running it. You can control it via the front panel buttons and IR remote, RS-232 commands for automated setups, or right over your local network using a web GUI. Looking at the source page, the barrier to entry is just incredibly low now. Between regular promo codes like 25% off that drop that $700 price tag even further, this really changes who can buy this gear.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you have to look at how democratized this technology has become. It used to require massive server rooms and tens of thousands of dollars to run a video wall. Now, with standard enterprise safety nets like a 5-year Zenty warranty, 60-day returns, and lifetime technical support, this isn't just for massive corporations anymore. A local coffee shop could pull this off.
To sum up our deep dive today, the Zenty ZT-382 is the ultimate flexible shortcut to building breathtaking visual environments without needing an engineering degree to set it up.
I will leave you with this final thought. If the hardware required to perfectly synchronize up to 100 screens is now this affordable, flexible, and easy to control, how might that fundamentally change the way we design and interact with the physical walls in our everyday workspaces and homes?